The wait is over, we have some brief spoilers for One Piece chapter 1141, which is titled Older Woman, and you'll find out why it's called that as we discuss the spoilers. In last week's chapter, we learned about how the God Knights are planning to target the children of Elbaf, but there's more to this, as we've got Luffy and Zoro who are now rushing to the underworld where Loki is imprisoned. The plan is to unleash a force which is so destructive that the giants themselves fear that it could end the world. There's quite a lot to dive into with the spoilers for this week, as there is also a huge shocking revelation by the end of the chapter, so be sure to stick around to the very end of the video so that you're the first to know about what's going to happen in chapter 1141 of One Piece.
Before the video begins, only 20% of the people who actually watch my content are subscribed to the channel. If you enjoy these videos, then subscribe and stick around for more content just like this. Now let's get back to the topic of the video.
While the celebrations in Elbaf continue, Ripley introduces Franky to something incredible. She shows him a massive branch from the legendary Adam tree which had to be removed after it was struck by lightning. This of course isn't just any wood, it is Adam wood, which is the best quality shipbuilding material in the One Piece world. It was famously used to build Roger's ship the Oro Jackson, as well as parts of the Thousand Sunny. The fact that this particular branch was damaged by lightning may carry some symbolic weight, especially given Franky's expertise and passion for innovation. If he is given this Adam wood branch, then he could use it for some endless possibilities, like a new weapon system for Sunny, or even reinforced armor for the ship, or even portable weapons that the Straw Hat members could carry, as they are now facing off against increasingly powerful opponents. So Nami does leave Luffy and Zoro as she rejoins the festivities. As she bumps into a drunken Usopp, and in typical fashion, Usopp loses all of his inhibitions as he boldly asks Jorel, one of the oldest giants in existence, about his romantic preferences. Jorel responds that he prefers older women as he yells it out. It's nice to see a light-hearted moment with this character. It adds a bit of depth to him, as he usually does have quite an imposing presence within the story, and moments like this do humanize him a bit. Meanwhile, we see how Gerd's suspicions about Road lead to a confrontation as Sanji follows them closely behind. So this is a subplot which is currently occurring within the Elbaf arc, as Gerd serves a dual role within the story as a fearsome warrior as well as a skilled healer. She had treated the wounds of the giant guards which Road had brought to the celebration. What makes this subplot interesting is how quickly Gerd's compassionate healing transforms into righteous violence. Despite just treating Road's companions, she abruptly turns on Road himself as she physically confronts him based on her suspicions. Now this major shift suggests that Gerd possesses some observational skills, and she has detected that there is something wrong in Road's behavior or the guard's conditions. Given Road's previous deceptive nature after capturing the Straw Hats and creating his Land of Gods diorama, Gerd's suspicions are likely well founded. The spoiler text suggests that Road may be involved in something more sinister beyond his previous antics, possibly related to the God Knight's infiltration, possibly even connected to Loki. This subplot is doing a great job of bridging the celebratory atmosphere as well as the looming catastrophe with Luffy and Zoro. Oda masterfully uses these character interactions to foreshadow what is about to be revealed by the end of the chapter. Now Luffy and Zoro also finally descend into Elbaf's underworld, a dark foreboding realm which is beneath the massive branches of the Adam tree. The underworld serves as Loki's prison. As the two strongest Straw Hats approach Loki's containment area, they discuss whether if it's a good idea to free him or not, since Loki murdered his own father King Harold and he has a staggering 2.6 billion berry bounty for a good reason. There is a lot of thought going into the freedom of Loki as it could trigger some catastrophic consequences. Out of the two of them, Zoro will definitely have his reservations, while Luffy will want to free Loki based upon the deal that he had made with him in earlier chapters. Loki's freedom in exchange for information about Shanks' whereabouts. Just as Luffy and Zoro reach the underworld and debate freeing Loki, Harudin's crew makes a jaw-dropping entrance which could change everything. It seems like Harudin's crew have arrived to stop Luffy and Zoro from releasing Loki. But from the final spoiler from chapter 1141, it seems like they may be too late, because apparently Loki has been released. Despite Harudin's crew falling from the sky in their ship, a dramatic last-ditch effort to prevent the release of Loki, they had appeared to come too late. The timing couldn't be more ominous, as Luffy and Zoro had had just been debating whether if it's a good idea to free Loki. What's fascinating is how this moment connects with the ancient texts of Elbaf. The Harley divides history into 3 worlds or ages, with prophecy suggesting Loki's freedom, which could trigger the end of the 3rd world. His self-proclaimed identity as the Sun God takes on darker implications when viewed alongside the Adam Tree's Void Century murals, which depict devastating world wars. Loki killed his own father and 100 elite giant warriors in his quest for a legendary unnamed devil fruit. Loki's power is so crazy that it earned him the title of Accursed Prince. Loki was imprisoned by Shanks 6 years ago, which is one of the few acts which had prevented what many giants believed to be a global destruction. The consequences of Loki being released will result in the Elbaf warriors mobilizing immediately, as Loki is considered to be their greatest shame and his freedom represents their worst nightmare. Loki also developed a hatred for the God Knights, especially after Gunko and Figureland Shamrock had killed all of his underworld beast friends. He had sworn revenge on them as soon as he was to be freed from his shackles, and additionally Loki has a disdain for the world nobles, which had grown more after the God Knights ended up torturing him repeatedly after Loki had refused to join them. So this is really interesting, as the God Knights are on Elbaf, and with Loki being freed, they may well be his first targets. Before that though, the first question which will need to be answered is whether if Loki will honor his agreement with Luffy regarding Shanks' whereabouts. Given that his previous interactions has proven him to have a manipulative nature, there is a lot of reason to be skeptical of Loki. His horrific treatment at the hands of Shamrock and Gunko could redirect his priorities towards them. But yeah, what's interesting is that Luffy is once again seen as this character of liberation, as there is this constant thread with his character of releasing imprisoned characters, whether if it's from the Impel Down escapees to the subordinates of Kaido in Wano. Each time his actions create consequences throughout the world. The difference here is that Loki represents a planet level threat according to the legends of Elbaf. It's going to be interesting to see Loki as this wildcard character who is neither a full ally or an enemy, similar to individuals like Crocodile post Impel Down. Loki's knowledge about Shanks' world noble heritage presents him as a critical source of information just as the series is approaching its finale. Loki's freedom now is speeding up the convergence of the major powerhouses for the final saga of One Piece, with the God Knights, the Red-Haired Pirates, Blackbeard, and now potentially a liberated Sun God all in action. Oda is appearing to arrange all of the pieces for a huge conflict which will resolve all of the major mysteries of the One Piece world. We do have some great news, as there is no break next week, as chapter 1142 will be releasing straight away. And yeah, we do end this week's chapter with a fascinating reveal of Loki being set free. I'd love to know all of your thoughts about this latest chapter of One Piece titled Older Women. Do continue the discussion in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to see me cover One Piece more, then check out my One Piece channel called Kaizoku King. I have several in-depth character analysis videos as well as ranking videos which you're going to absolutely love, so do go and check that channel out and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Let me know your thoughts about the spoilers for this week, and lastly, thanks for making it to the end of this video, and I cannot wait to see you in my next One Piece video.
A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.